Hi guys. Yesterday I was basically in the fight of my life. Um, and with all my martial arts experience, all my combat experience, all the fights I've been in my days, uh, this was something I was completely out of my comfort zone in. So let me tell you what happened. I've got two pit bulls. One's a rescue and one's my old boy from years back. And they do get agitated with each other, but they do play together. And while I'm around, nothing's ever happened. And then yesterday, for the first time, I was playing with the big boy outside. This is the big boy over here sleeping next to me. Um, and the female, the smaller one, was only a year and a half. She was inside, like just chilling. And the next minute, she came walking out, all relaxed. And then when she got to about a meter, 2 meters from Judge, this is my big boy, she just hit him in the ribs as hard as she could, like teeth, everything. So I immediately got up, tried to go at them and try to stop them. And I tried every single thing I knew how to do. I eventually had them. At one stage, I had Judge in a rear naked choke by my shoulder with Cleo, that's the female, in a figure four around my legs, and she was still biting him, and he was still fighting back. It is incredible. Though they both weigh, like as you can see, I got in the middle of it right there. So I got a nice crunch from a 35, 37 kg pit bull. But he realized when he bit me that I was the wrong person. He let go quite quickly, and I'm not angry at him. I wasn't supposed to be there. If dogs fight, you should never try and get involved. But the video is not about the dogs. The video is about the experience that I actually had, and things that I can relate to a martial arts situation. And one of the things that I realized was, and this went on for a while. I was fighting for about 10 to 15 minutes. I can't tell exactly how long it was, but it was long. And I just watered the garden, so the grass was wet. There's mud everywhere. My Dobok pants is destroyed, just mud and blood. I was actually wearing it at the time. But it's one of the things that I realized is a real fight, like a real life or death fight. That's the first time I've ever been in a real life or death fight. I've been in fights before, plenty, but they can't really be classified as fights because 90% of the time I never took a hit. It was over before it began, and with this, like every time I separated them, it's like the dogs didn't even see me. They just came around me and just went for it again. It was so difficult for me to try and control them. One dog easy, no problem, but the two of them both in aggressive mode, just going at each other like non-stop. It's a scary thing, man. And man, I used grappling techniques. I kicked them, and I mean when I kicked them. Um, I used ninjutsu techniques. I used pressure point techniques. I was precious amounts of pressure away from snapping legs and stuff. And obviously, I don't want to hurt them. I just want to control them so they stop fighting because these are my babies. And eventually, what worked was I actually put my whole hand, and this is obviously why my hand is the way it is. But I put my whole hand inside over the bottom jaw and rotated it up, pulling it towards the neck, and that way forcing the mouth open, which worked great, except that the canines were already hooked into the flesh. So you can see here, this is what the Judge looks like. And we did take him to the vet. There we go. Yeah, we did take him to the vet. And the vet's not too worried about everything. He just got his injections, took his antibiotics along with his dad. That's me. And yeah. But getting back to what I realized is, in a fight situation like that, you have to go all out. These dogs were going all out. I was trying to control them in a passive way, and it doesn't work. Ideally, eventually when I got them free, I ripped the one off, threw it into her kennel, and put my body against the door so the other one couldn't get to it. And man, when I was done, I was dead. I was in shock. And that's why I say it's the worst fight I've ever been in my life. I got about 20 stitches in my elbow, possibly bone chips. We'll only know on Saturday when we go for x-rays. And today's Friday, by the way, this happened yesterday morning. But yeah, so if you're in a fight for your life, there's like it's very difficult to explain. It's like I said before, like I've been in fights, I've never had fear because it's something that I've trained. I've never trained to fight dogs, and again, my breathing was erratic. My movements were completely erratic. I was slipping on the floor. I was lying on top of them, like holding them both under arm, just trying to get them to stop biting. And I didn't even care if they bit me. I was just like trying to get them to stop. And I'm screaming and I'm hitting them with whatever I can find. And I'm picking them up. And as I pick up the one, the other one's hanging, shaking, and then I can't hold it because it's going to rip the dog's flesh. But it was just so intense. And that's what I can't get over, the fact how intense that was. And you as somebody who's in the middle of that, you don't have the option of cook stepping back, taking a second, because the moment I stepped, if I took a second or two to assess and then go back, I would have had much bigger holes in my dogs, and that's not something I want. I don't want them to get injured. I don't want them to get hurt. So I was fighting just as hard as they were, and luckily, I think I won. I came off worst out of the situation, but I think I won. And the win is not the fact that nobody like got injured. The win is the fact that they're alive. That's the win. It's very important to me, and I love my dogs, and we don't want this to ever happen again. And the one that started the fight is actually a dog that we've been fostering, trying to find a good home for us. Now we're gonna, and then we decided to keep them because they seem to be fine. But now we're gonna have to go through the whole process again. But again, the viciousness of an attack like that, and having to stay calm, and I did stay calm, luckily. I went through the motions. I went from technique to technique to technique. If this doesn't work, that's gonna work, and it was quick. It was like I was grappling two people at once with teeth. And it's just a scary, scary thing. So right now I'm chilling in bed with old Judgy boy lying here next to me. Can't really straighten my arm, elbow. You can see it's nicely swollen there. And that was this guy's jaw. That jaw over there. With these teeth. Those teeth. Those teeth. They crunched into my elbow. So, right in. I'm talking like the roof of his mouth was touching my arm. So it was a deep, very deep bite. And I feel sorry for anybody who ever has to get bitten by a dog for being in the wrong place at the wrong time. Or for the wrong reason. But yeah, all I want to say is, guys, you don't know the situation that you're going to get into. You don't know the level of intensity the situation is going to be. You don't know, what the attack's going to be. And as a martial artist, I can only take this as a training experience. Take it as this was the worst, most aggressive, most violent, most intense, most adrenaline pumping fight for life. Not my life, their life, but it's been a fight for life. And I pray nobody ever has to go through it, but if you do, learn from it. Use the experience and learn from it. Become more knowledgeable about what your bodies are capable of doing and how far you can be pushed to do what needs to be done. So yeah, I just wanted to make this video just to let everybody know, not that my dog's fought or anything, but that it's real, it doesn't matter if it's a dog fight or a person fight. I mean, people are animals too. If somebody pulls a knife on you, that's like a dog with the mouth biting constantly. And you need to know how to defend against that. It doesn't help, you go to class and you feel comfortable. And one of my other students said that they became empowered by just doing the boxing fitness class. And I warned them, I said, be careful. You feel empowered because you're hitting an inanimate object. In real life, it's not like that. The moment you take a swing at somebody and you miss and you get a swing back, it's gonna rock your world. And if you're not used to taking punches, you're gonna suffer. You're gonna go into shock. You're not gonna know which way's up, which way's down. You're not gonna know which is your left to your right. It's gonna be a horrible experience. So, for martial artists that know, they'll tell you, get hit in the face, get kicked in the stomach, take a shot in the ribs. Feel joint locks, feel pressure points, feel a solid shot with gloves and headgear. Feel all of it, because that's what needs to be done. You need to. It's like taking a American football player or a rugby player or a hockey player, and they've never been hit in their life, never been tackled, never been checked, and when it happens the first time, their world's rocked. It's the same thing. So my world was rocked. I fought two dogs and I survived, and they survived, and it was a vicious, vicious thing. And I was a little bit traumatized, more than I've ever been with any attack. I've had guys pull knives on me. I've been attacked by 10 guys at once in a bar. And I walked away from that. And that was a week after I had a knee operation. So, things happen, and this was the most intense. I didn't have nightmares or anything, but like, my dog sleeps right next to me on that little bed there. But every time I looked at him and I saw him, like, I just remember his face, him crunching in on my arm, and it gave me like some PTSD, I swear. But I'm not angry with him. He's a dog. I understand the situation. It's just that I could not believe the severe viciousness and intensity, and I probably broke them up about four to five, 6 times, and every time I do, like, I pick him up, but while I'm still picking the one up that I just got free, the other one comes and hits him again, and I fall over with them. These are big dogs, and I'm not a weak guy, I'm a strong guy, but sure, it was crazy. That's all I'm gonna say. It was crazy. Hope it never happens to anybody else. But yeah, learn from your experiences, take what you can, and just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. Just be prepared. That's the only thing I can say. But anyway, thanks for listening. If this helps, great. If it doesn't, sorry I wasted your time. But yeah, think about it. Think about understanding, the situation that you're going to be in, and scenario up. Put yourself in bad scenarios and imagine how you would react in them, and start like planning in case something happens that you have never planned for. That's the best advice I can give you. And secondly, don't fight with dogs. They're much better at martial arts than we can ever be. Anyway, guys, stay safe. Have a good time out there in the world. And if you like what you see, share it, subscribe. Otherwise, sorry I wasted your time. But yeah, have a good night, good day or night, wherever you are. Cheers, guys.